They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life.
What I've been saying for a while now is finally coming true. And what we're seeing around the world is what's called the end of globalization.
Globalization has failed the West and the United States of America.
The world has changed much. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Okay, so what does that mean? Well,
what does that mean? New world order.
Well, here's a very simple way of looking at it. After World War II, the world came to an agreement about how to structure the New World Order. China became the factory of the world, Japan became the lender by keeping rates at zero, keeping the system liquid, Europe became the buyer and consumer of the world, they traded productivity and military for stability and social welfare, and the United States became the country that enforced the whole thing with the petrodollar as the world's reserve currency, backed by the military-industrial complex.
First of all, did they just get together and just like they came to the table together and just agreed on this? Like, you have this role, you have this role, you have this role. This is, I wonder if it happened naturally or like they really had like a meeting. But this goes to show you right here that the petrodollar, the dollar, is not backed by gold. It is backed by military might. Military might. Let's go.
Now that system is what Simon Dixon coined as the proof of weapons network, which means if countries want to trade, or if they want money to build their economies, they have to agree to the rules. The rules were, use dollars to buy energy and do not mess with U.S. interests. The petrodollar made sure that the world needed dollars to buy.
That's got to be some gangster shit right there. Like, you make sure you use the dollar and don't even try to mess with us. I don't know if that's bullying or that's just gangster, honestly, because that's thorough. America is thorough.
By its energy, the military enforced it all, and financial institutions, along with the central banks, managed the flow of all this money. So if you play by the rules, you got access to investment markets and protection, and if you broke the rules, you got punished with things like sanctions or just outright war. Now, if you're an American, depending on which side of the K-shaped economy you were on, rich or poor, then you indirectly benefited from that system because U.S. companies made a lot of money.
This sounds like the Italian mob. This is the Italian mob way of thinking. If you fuck with us, we got you. But if you don't fuck with us, we gonna fuck with you. Like, what else are you gonna choose? You have no choice but to fuck with the United States.
And if you were an investor, you also made a lot of money, and you got to retire happy. The downside, though, was that to keep this system going, it doesn't just take a war. It takes a forever war, which is bad for the world. Now, if you're poor as an American, it's especially bad because the system gave out all the jobs, supply chains left, factories left, and what it did was it concentrated wealth, it hollowed out the middle class, and it created a very fragile dependency on other nations for their stuff. Because America stopped.
Hollowed out the middle class. Affected people like us. That's why we got to be here. Even after your day job, you got to put up some videos on social media, try to make a little extra coin. Try to build up a brand. Artbeggar.com, by the way.
Stopped making stuff. The only thing America made was money and technology. And for a long time...
And guns. You forgot guns. They made a lot of guns.
That's how the world worked. Technically, it still does, at least on paper. But it's coming to the end. Because fast forward to today, and some of these nations decided to team up and said, okay, we'll make our own system then. And they've become so powerful at this point that the Proof of Weapons Network cannot enforce the rules anymore without going to World War III, which no one wants. And at the most recent meeting at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland,
Depends on who you ask. It looks like current president, he's looking for something else. He might be looking for World War III. And I think he's going to try to make money off of it if it does happen. Kind of like the Rothschilds and those big families, how they made money with every conflict. Because he's already made money now. I mean, look at his net worth since before he became president till after he became president. His family is rich. His name will be in the history books. He just really just made himself immortal. That's the next best way to become immortal. You know? And I figure he's old. He doesn't have much time, so he's like, hey, look, I'm just going to do anything and everything for my family. I only got about a year and a half left of life anyway. And then after this term, they're probably going to get me in jail. Let me do anything I can and solidify the Trump name. Because let's be real. In 20, 30, 40, 50 years, who's going to be really talking about this? It's going to be in the history books, but the family's going to be rich. And they're going to be able to do a whole lot of things with all that money he's making. I'm just saying.
Switzerland, which just happened, the people who sort of control these levers of power said that this game is over.
Globalization has failed the West and the United States of America. It's a failed policy. It is what the WEF has stood for, which is export, offshore, far shore. Find the cheapest labor in the world, and the world is a better place for it.
I mean, I don't know if they failed, though. They probably have in the short term, but well, all they got to do is ramp up the military, get some more guns, get some more technology. Listen, I can't talk too much shit. I am in America. I kind of like it here. USA all the way, baby.
For it. The fact is, it has left America behind. It has left the American workers behind.
So now Japan is being forced to repatriate its capital back, sell their U.S. treasuries, just like all the other nations in this new world. This weakens the dollar, because the dollar needs perpetual demand, and that demand is disappearing.
I'm telling you, this whole petrodollar scheme is a Ponzi scheme. That's what they need to call it, a Ponzi scheme. But hey, whoever got the big guns make the rules, so.
Europe learned, if you depend on other countries for your energy, and you outsource your safety and your military, well, then you've got no power to enforce the rules. So what we're left with is what was talked about at this World Economic Forum. The question was, how do we divide power in this new world order? That's what I want to help explain.
And that's it for the video, but the thing is, I don't think America wants to divide power. I think they want to maintain control. They want to keep the petrodollar up. But then you have the BRICS on the other side. They're looking to switch things around. You know, they're tired of being under America's thumb, following America's rules and laws, being sanctioned. I mean, of course, that makes sense. Like, they feel as though they have built their economy enough to stand alone or stand against the dollar, stand against America. The only thing that's really holding America up, like I said, is the military might, but you can't use that forever. Sometimes you got to change strategies. The military, using the military is the old ways. Now we're in the new age, and America needs to adapt.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip of Rich Broke by Benny Beckrow, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe.